All right. There are different types of paper and different types of pencils. These are your tools. And other tools like this one. It's a pretty old blender. This one too. With the pencils, there are many different kinds of types of pencils, which is from the lightest to the darkest. And you'll see the numbers 2B, 2B on it. Or some of them have 9H or HB. This one's a very light pencils. So this one's a darker pencil. All the B's, 2Bs, 3Bs, 4Bs, 5Bs, they're all darker. And all the HBs, H is really light and HB is medium pretty much, and it starts going there on. But what I'm going to show you is how this is a 2HB, so it's in the middle pretty much. This is the normal pencil we use in schools. You guys know them, the number 2 pencil. Yeah, that one. That one is what we're going to use. And just so you know, we also have erasers. These are real good erasers. They erase almost everything. Everybody loves these erasers. But for drawing, these ones, it's my favorite. It's the kids' favorites. Everybody likes this one because everybody, this is all they do. While I'm giving a lesson, everybody's just playing with the eraser and relaxing. It is a very relaxing tool. And when people do this, when you do this, you're cleaning the eraser at the same time. So it cleans it. And see how it's turning white? It was a little dirty earlier. But if you don't have any of these erasers, you can find these ones at the art store. This one, you could always use the regular orange erasers, which is probably what we'll use. So you can see that it's not necessary to have all these tools just to get something done. And we're going to start with the most important things when it comes to art that you need to know. Okay? What is the most important thing? What are the most important things is, lines. Lines are very important. Why? Lines are the ones that are going to give shape to our artwork, to our drawing. You got vertical lines, right? Thick lines, right? And we got dotted lines, right? Or dash. I'm sorry, this one's or dash. Dotted will be just dots, 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 dots. And we got zigzag lines. Right? We could identify those kind of lines. We got names for them. And we also have shapes. Shapes are very important. Actually, shapes are the ones that help you get your drawing all together, build up and mold it together. For example, we all know how to draw a circle, right? And it's very important to doodle. That's what we call it, just scribble, daddle everywhere, doodle, and you get yourself a sketchbook or papers and doodle a lot. So you want to learn how to get the circle. Everybody always, the kids, you kids and adults always, when it's your first time, it's like, but I can't make a perfect circle, and you're all like everywhere. Well, it takes time. You got to practice. Yeah? So you practice with shapes, doing all the shapes as good as you can. Right? Okay. And you do all the shapes you could possibly remember. I mean, you could go beyond more other shapes. We also have this shape that not a lot of people know the name of it, but I learned that it's called organic shape. Why? Because it takes the shape of an organ, right? It takes the shape of something inside you, or your heart, right? You do a heart, now we call it a heart shape, but a technical name would be organic shape. All right, so we know how to, now we know, or we realize or we practice to get better at doing these things, drawing the shapes. You know, perfect the circle as much as you could. If you practice this a lot, then you'll get the circles and your squares pretty good. A lot of people give up the minute they don't know how to do a good circle, you know? So, don't give up. That's all I gotta say. Don't give up. So, now that we got a few circles going on and a few shapes we know of, you know, rectangle, things like that. Why do I say shapes are important? Because everything has shapes in it. Let me see. What was I gonna grab? Something small. Let's see. We got our sharpener right here, right? Oh, easier for you guys. The eraser, right? We see it, right? The shapes, right? If you see the shape, you can do it, right? Now we see and you could do it. Okay. So, or if you, for example, you wanted to do a tree, first you could start off with a rectangle, right? Straight out. It's a long rectangle. And then maybe you do some thin, long rectangles, and you just keep doing that. And you can keep adding smaller and smaller, and then for the organic shape. Sorry, I'm overlapping stuff on this. Kind of a messy guy sometimes, but it's sketchy when you you're doodling around and you're practicing and you're doing these things. You know, that's why the newspaper type newspaper is good for is just to doodle. You know, you could have a sketchbook. I know how in our communities it's not something that we all have the money for all the time to get new sketchbooks, but you know, if you could find stacks of this online, you could use this just to sketch and doodle. You know, this, you know. And it's, like I said, it's important to just keep practicing all the shapes as much as you can. Do them different sizes, you know. Learn how to do them differently. You know, fat ones. Even learn oval ones. It doesn't have to be the perfect circle. Practice doing them. Because as you can see, I think you saw how mine came out a little bit crooked in the beginning, but as long as you're drawing light, and that's why it's good to stay in the medium one. Sometimes it's even good to use the lightest pencil. See, look how light this is. Super light. This is why artists like to buy the sets, because they can start sketching with this, or they can even shade with this to start bringing in the grade. Not so dark and not so quick, you know, like, and then like later on come in with, and this is a regular number 2. See that? And then this is a 5B. Look how dark that is. Immediately is like super dark, and I'm not even pressing that much. It's very important when you're sketching not to press hard on your artwork. Okay, I'm gonna do it with the lighter pencil, that way you can see. Even with the lighter, because you're really indenting the paper, and if you didn't mean to make that line permanent, then when you erase it, and let's say you're shading or something, right? Look at that. It starts popping out back again. And it kind of messed up your artwork now. I didn't erase it, but it comes popping out because it's engraved, like scribed in to the paper more than anything, and you don't really want that. You don't want to draw hard or oops, see, you even rip the paper. You know, look, rip the paper. Or do hard. When you want to sketch, you want to sketch light. Sometimes you even want to hold the pencil like that. You know. Let me get another paper. We'll get another paper. Oh, well, let's just flip this one. All right. All right. So we talked about shapes. How important it is to just perfect them, just make them good, learn how to do them good, small, big, practice. You know, and also sketch light. You know, and the importance of lines is gonna come up pretty soon too. So now we were talking about how light this pencil is. You can even see it. It is really light. This is a 9H. Super light. Let's see. I wish I had another H. But back to the 2H. The regular pencil, right? Number 2 pencil. You could actually get all the grades of darkness and lightness out of just one pencil, you know, and it comes down to, once again, if I say do it light, there's a reason for it, right? Because you want to erase. So you could get darker as you go. So what we're gonna do right now is, this is pretty much the little project you kids or parents or friends, adults pretty much, could do. Those who are watching the video, you know, we'll do four squares, 4 boxes. Right, I tell the kids to do that. Kids do that. And, 4 boxes. In those 4 boxes, we're gonna do different shades with this pencil. I keep moving it. I should keep it nice and straight. So we'll start with the lightest we could. The lightest. Don't do it hard. Just the lightest you think you're doing it. And then, see, I started off a little bit lighter, you probably noticed it, and then we go the next grade, which would be a little darker, so we just press a little more, right? Make it, press a little more. So we press more. Now we go to the next one, make it, press it more. It depends on how many grades you want to do it. Honestly, I don't think I've ever tested how far I can go with how many I can do. But if you want to give yourself that challenge, you can give yourself that challenge. That challenge is pretty much how you practice and you get better at things. You know, you see, like this one is going to take more filling in for me to get it darker. Doing it hard might have been up to there, but you see 4 different shades with the number 2 pencil. Okay, now you could have all these that are up to more than 20 pencils of different grades, or you could just do this. You could use a regular pencil, just one pencil. Now to show you the difference, how dark, this is 5. Let me see if I can have this is 2. We'll go with, yeah, we'll go with the 5. This is the darkest that goes with the 5. Open and press it hard, and that way you see. And this is why it's nice to have a little set, because now you got more to. It's kind of like you got more paint, kind of thing, right? But I know most of you, this little video that we're making is more to show you how to use what you got, and then you can see other things that other tools that you could buy later on, so you could get good at drawing. I gotta go really super light just to get close to this one. And this is good practice for shading, for coloring in pretty much. And there's more techniques, more tricks that you could do to make this shading better, or coloring, whatever you call it. But this is the differences between the sets and just using you can still use your number 2 pencil, you know.